my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, miss you every day. You like my oxygen, make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, break you in and break you out. In the end, we're gonna make.
Dionna, welcome back to season 2, episode 2 of All Time High. How are things going?
Things are great. Things are great. I'm excited to get in and do a deep dive into some good topics today.
Yeah, if people stick around, they are going to get some really good alpha at the end of this particular show. It's not financial advice, but there's some opportunities that are out in front of us based on the executive order that recently got released.
Yeah. And if you didn't get a chance, you might want to go watch our other episode that recaps last season, and then you'll know why you should listen to us. Not
and if you've made it this far into the episode, you probably want to get notified of any updates, and the best way to do that is how?
Hit that subscribe button right down there, and don't forget to hit like and share it.
Yeah, like will wake up the algorithm. Subscribe will make sure you get notified.
And sharing will show all your friends you're smart.
Yeah. And at the end of this, we kind of want you to leave messages or notes during the show too to give us your feedback. Love it, hate it, it's okay. You know?
Yeah. Or ask questions.
Yeah. Don't hate the players, hate the game.
Hate the game.
And we're about to talk about the game. You know, I think there's only one way to really get into this, and it is chronologically. So let's do our very best to recapture what transpired just recently.
Yeah.
If we go in and we look at kind of the market cap, this is one of your favorite slides. We want on All Time High to continue to track the growth. Right now we're at 3.6 trillion. That's one key metric. And the other is the fear and greed index. Right now we're at 54. Your take on this, Dionna? You've always had good insight on the fear and greed. You think we're in the neutral spot because?
I do. I think that, you know, the future looks bright as far as understanding that more states, more countries, we're going to start investing in Bitcoin reserves. When you start hearing the government talking about pumping billions of dollars into an asset, obviously you're going to hold, right? You're not going to sell that asset because you want to see if they're going to do it. And, you know, they're given the framework to say they're going to do it. So where before it was like, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? I don't know. Should I buy? Should I sell? I don't know what to do. Like right now, it's like, just buy and hold. Just buy some Bitcoin. It's going to be good. Not a financial advice.
Not financial advice. Just hang on. All right. So as we look, and I'm trying to set us up to go through rather quickly from this point forward. Here we go. The next thing up that happened in the sequence of events, if you remember during the presidential election, during the campaign at the Bitcoin conference, President Trump said, hey, there's this guy, Gary Gensler, on day one, I'm going to fire him. Do you remember what happened with the crowd?
Yeah. I mean, let's see, crypto libertarians and probably half the people in there had some kind of dealings or prosecution from Gensler. I'm sure they went crazy.
Yeah. And then it went so much louder than he thought it was going to go. He actually said, hey, let me say that again, just to make sure that anybody didn't miss this. So
of course he did.
If you know, he's been one of the most difficult people to, we thought, I think initially, probably the expectation was he was going to be a friend of crypto. Turned out that he wasn't. And he left the agency on January 20th to a crescendo of applause from the crypto community. So
and us too.
That was Friday, and it took us all of Saturday. Well, when was the crypto ball? Was the crypto ball Saturday night? I think it was.
It was Saturday night. Yeah, it was Saturday. And I do want to say this too. It wasn't even just that Gensler was not he was an anti-crypto. Once he got behind crypto, his poster boy was Sam Bankman-Fried. Like, seriously? That was the poster boy of crypto. So if that guy had to go.
Yeah, it tells you everything.
Bye-bye.
But just when we thought there were going to be rules and regs in the market, right? You said one of the best things that was going to happen when he left, because he had regulation by enforcement, was, okay, we're going to get some guidelines.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what the guidelines happen to be, because right about the time of the crypto ball, we launched this.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I had that initial response. I mean, I'm a big utility guy. So I'm like, wait a second. The president-elect is going to launch a meme coin the night of the crypto ball. What are we telling people?
Yeah, we're telling people that he wants to make money. I want a guy leading us that wants to make money. Now, let's make it clear. There's multiple classes, right? You have securities, you have commodities, and you have collectibles. And this one falls in the collectibles. It's no different than his gold sneakers. It's no different than Bored Ape Yacht Club. So if he wants to ride that meme ride, and it's Trump, we all know he's like a megalomaniac. So of course he wants a Trump coin.
Yeah, he's a business guy.
I even have a coin. There's a Dionna coin floating out there somewhere from NFT NYC. So good for him.
Oh, no, I've
Make
made
some money.
not a Jim coin. That's too much. But I have made a meme coin. I mean, just to see and say that I've done it. It's out there.
Is it?
Oh yeah. Within 24 hours, it had $5,000 in market cap. I left it all in there, and now a month later, it's got like $500. It's okay. I'm fine with that. Like no risk, no return. But if you haven't done it, you don't know. And I'll tell you what happened with this Trump thing. Now every celebrity is thinking about it, right?
Of course. Yeah, but this is why I love crypto. This is my favorite thing about crypto. Is it a new way to make money? Yes, I understand that there are scams and there are rug pulls and there are things that you definitely have to be careful of. But I think that goes for anything that you put your money into, businesses, assets, like nothing is a guarantee. But this technology, anybody could do it. Anybody could have a coin. Anybody could make something up, and you could find a way to make money out of this. Or you can put money into coins without having to be a registered accredited investor. You know what I mean? Like, so somebody who doesn't have a lot of money could throw all the money they have and make a lot of money. I'm not saying do that, but the fact that the opportunity is there is something we've never seen before.
No, and so he kind of is playing out a script that helps us see what's coming. And there is a crypto czar that's been appointed, David Sachs, already based on the meme coin introduction. By Monday, Howard Lindzen, who's well known in investment circles, is calling for David Sachs to resign. He's basically saying that we thought you were going to be rules of the road, but here you are helping the president-elect launch meme coins on Solana. I mean, you're already kind of picking favorites, picking winners and losers. And we know, at least I believe, that isn't what the government should really do. And so we'll move from there. Any thoughts on Howard's quick commentary, like his knee-jerk reaction?
I don't understand why it's like we can't pick favorites. The government is going to start buying crypto. So yeah, there's going to be favorites. They're not going to buy all crypto. They're going to strategically pick the ones that they think are going to increase in value and going to add money to the United States, and they're going to buy those. So the fact that they say that all coins are alike is not true. The ones that have stood the test of time, got in there, made the technology, withstood Gensler, right? Maybe they deserve the recognition. And those are the ones, even if I don't like all of them in that class, maybe that's the ones that you should be investing in or you should be looking at. So,
well, for sure, one thing that's
the government's already involved. So
he's advocating for a level playing field. If you look in the AI circle, Elon, who helped him get elected, has been told that even though Elon doesn't like Sam Altman all that much, he still needs to cooperate with him and work with him and figure out ways to make the AI for America better. And so I think he's going to go down that same front with the cryptocurrency conversation and try to find ways to connect the dots for all of crypto across the board. And so as we look, I want to fast forward now, Dionna, to the executive order, which we'll put in the show notes. It's called Strengthening American Leadership in Digital Financial Technology. And I think you wanted to go through a couple of points that you thought were key to, I mean, there's a lot of words here. Can you help extract meaning for us across?
Yeah. I'll say, to sum it up, the president wants to move very quickly on this. He wants everybody to get together and pull all the policies within 30 days. Within 60 days, they have to have a plan of what it's going to look like when they start buying up some of these digital assets. And then within 90 days, they're actually buying those assets and it's executed. And he's pulling everybody together. So, the thing that I love about Sachs is that he was an early PayPal guy. He understands digital payments. He understands the landscape of cryptocurrency. And now he's actually going to come and work. But look at the people on this list, right? I mean, it's fantastic that these people are finally going to come together and come to some conclusions on this stuff.
Yeah, as we're recording this episode, it's end of January, and I look at February as a big opportunity for the space in terms of what'll come back, because early timing within 30 days of this order, which would put us on Friday, February 22nd, all these people are supposed to get together and identify all regulations, guidance, and orders or other items that affect the asset sector, digital asset sector. So within 30 days, we're going to have some guidance from them. And within 60 days, what's going to happen? Every agency, so all these groups, the Treasury, the CFTC, the SEC, are going to submit recommendations from the chairs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to start moving. That'll be into the middle of March. Yep. And then within 180 days, that's puts us about July 22nd, they're going to submit a report and recommend all the regulatory and legislative proposals. So
yeah. You know what's interesting about this, right? Because we like even the company I work for now, it used to be a Web3 gaming company. And so we all have a crypto background, and we've gone back and forth about, do we do a coin? Do we not do a coin? If you watched over the last 4 years, you saw a lot of rapid innovation in the beginning, and everybody was coming up with new things. I mean, you had Bitcoin, then you had Ethereum, you know what I mean? Like, and it was these ways of morphing the technology to make it better, to create new or do new things with it. And all of a sudden, you know, you just had this stagnation. And I do think it had a lot to do with the lack of regular clarity around the regulations of what we could and couldn't do. Now that they're going to be clear, it's going to explode. And it's going to explode, I think, in a way to where the more reputable projects, the people who actually want to follow the rules, are going to get involved. And it's going to become a lot clearer are the ones that are not following the rules. And those are the ones that get prosecuted versus the way you were talking about, you know, force by regulation by force type that they were doing
by
before.
Enforcement. Yeah, for sure. And if you look at, you and I kind of got into this space around, you were earlier than I, but I was in at about 1 trillion, 1.5 trillion. And then it's now doubled plus some to 3.6. I think it's going to double, if not triple, in the foreseeable future up to 10 trillion, because we really haven't had a catalyst yet. If I look at it, I see a lot of money rotating, but that's for another episode. Let's kind of take a look at one thing that has popped up not only on CoinMarketCap, but CoinGecko. It seems like we're talking about American made a lot lately. I mean, between the tariffs and now the tokens, you've got this component where these coins more recently have done quite well. And let's not kid ourselves, it's volatile still. I mean, the rotations in and out of coins, it's not for the faint of heart, and this is not financial advice. But if you're expecting that there's going to be a treasure trove of digital assets, you might expect that this group would be included. But you mentioned just a second ago, you have Ethereum and Bitcoin. There's some who speculate and say that those may or may not. Without going too deep, it's probably another episode. Any quick thoughts on whether, let's just leave it at Ethereum, is a made in USA coin or not?
Ooh, Vitalik? I don't think so, actually. Which is interesting, because then would you say that all the coins made on Ethereum are not American coins as well, even if it was a US person? I don't want to end this episode. And if this becomes a fruition, I think maybe we should talk about it in every episode. And I don't mean to derail, but I thought of it and I don't want to forget it. On the table is not taxing capital gains from crypto. Right. So if you put money in crypto, and a lot of people don't realize right now, if you put money in crypto and you lost, you get to deduct that too. Like, it's not just one way.
Yeah.
So you get to deduct your losses and you have to pay for your gains. Well, if this goes through and you don't have to pay for crypto gains, that could be, think of all the old school guys sitting on all their money that have never flipped it.
Yeah.
And then could flip it and not have to pay capital gains. It would probably be the most lucrative asset you could put your money into for that fact alone.
Yeah. And you at that point, my estimate for 10 trillion goes much higher, but I am not a tax attorney. Dionna is not an accountant, or vice versa.
No, yes.
So
this is not financial advice.
This is for entertainment purposes only, for speculation. Wild speculators that we are, these kind of things are being talked about, and so we can't choose to ignore them. There are opportunities that are going to come together. Whether or not they happen or not, time will tell, but that potential certainly does exist.
Which is, I mean, it's going to be fantastic for the market. So do your own research, but you guys, the opportunity is in front of you. If you do your research and you get comfortable with things and you understand what you're doing, it's there. So figure out your way.
That is not even I mean, that's great alpha, but that's not what we were bringing to the table in this episode.
I know,
let's get down to the crypto czar, because I think I figured out a couple places where I may be spending financial advice, some of my dollars. And I want you to get your bounce on it and see what we and you think. So first off, we got to take a look. you have a famous saying. What is it? If you are looking at a project and you can't find the people, what do you do with that project?
Oh, I wouldn't invest in, I wouldn't do, if I can't figure out who made it, why would I want to touch it?
Fair enough.
Although,
so, the irony of that statement's not lost to me. I'm going to leave that alone for right now because we're here to talk about David Sacks. And this is the guy who's been appointed the crypto czar. He is the one that's leading the charge. He is from, as you mentioned, PayPal. They call it the PayPal Mafia. He helped Elon resize X, at the time Twitter. And so he's been involved with that group for quite some time. So I went back and did some digging and found some videos that I want to share with you because I think they're incredibly important. The first of which comes from season 1 of All Time High, Dionna and Jim talking about this like new word that all of a sudden popped up a year or two ago. Here, let's take a look or take a listen.
I feel like there's been a lot of words that have popped up.
Well, this was one of them.
And Apple.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. In the Olympics, they're just going to rename it instead of the gold and silver medal. The bronze is going to be called Solana. I mean, how are they like narrative that they're crafting? These words mean things. I don't think this is coincidental. When did this happen? So now we're dropping.
So they started name dropping Solana, and there's this kind of mainstream media narrative, and the buzzwords started to go here, there, and everywhere. And you and I picked up on it a while back. And so I said, oh yeah, I remember there's this episode I watched on the All In podcast. It's a great show. I listen to it all the time. And so I actually went back to some clips and dug around and found where David Sacks, our crypto czar, is talking about Solana. Do you want to hear what he says?
I do. And do you think it's coincidental that Trump's meme coin is on Solana?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Right? So not investment advice, but y'all do your own research, except we're doing your research for you right here. Hold on one second.
Verify our research.
Yeah, this is our research. Don't worry. There'll be a subscription model someday soon. As we look at this, enjoy it while it's free is what I will say.
Yeah.
If we look at this, it's almost inevitable what's coming. Here we go. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
I want you to note he's pretty chippy here. Like he's having a little bit of fun with Solana. He's a venture capital guy. So don't forget that when you think about what this EO is going to look like. Is it going to be Silicon Valley-esque? Hell yes. Hold on.
I hope so. Let's make some money, America.
Speaking of taxes, which you just talked about, do you remember when taxes on Amazon, like there were no taxes on the internet? I do. At any rate,
I do
I'm probably
too.
dating myself.
The good old days.
The good old days. Yeesh. Here we go.
You better clear that Solana position. What's your lockup? 24 months? Fuck no, he's trying to sell it to me. A text message. Yeah, of course he is. We're negotiating discounts. I just had the fact.
Hey, you're fucking the whole thing up.
Bro, you don't think
I'm hodling.
You think I buy hundreds of millions of dollars of anything without a discount? Everything is a discount. Everything's discounted. You want to clear that position in an LLC?
Are you saying I got $1 billion of Solana?
No, bro, I'm saying I have one, but I bought it at a discount.
But you're holding, correct?
Ish.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, me too.
Well, I mean, if something at what point is the appreciation in an asset that you've invested in early something you need to, at least clear a position of and lock in a win? I mean, what's enough? 100x, 500x? You got to at some point bank a win, right?
Well, I think you have to put things in a bucket of like, is it an investment or is it something that represents an idea that you love so much? If it's the latter, you should never sell. If it's the former, you got to manage risk.
Or rather, is it a trade or is it something you want to own?
Yeah. You know what I noticed? People have fun talking about crypto. Like you get on the news and everybody's all serious and mean, and like crypto people are excited and innovative and like we love life. It's fun watching.
So let him clean this up because he kind of dropped an F-bomb or two there. He's feeling the vibe, little crypto bro vibe there to me. Sorry, I don't not bad or good. I'm just acknowledging what's happening there. Here he says, "Let me clean this up."
Investment for us. What we did is we invested in a crypto venture firm called Multicoin Capital. This is back in 2017. We realized like crypto was becoming like a full-time job for us. It was a total rabbit hole. And we were like, we don't have time to figure out this like 24/7 trading stuff. But we met Kyle and Tushar, who were these two young guys. We met them through Vinny Lingham actually. And they were creating Multicoin Capital. And we actually invested, we gave them $1 million at a 20 cap to help set up their firm. And then we invested in they had both a venture fund and a hedge fund. And they were like the first money into Solana. So.
Which is, they gotta be, is it because they gotta be killing it right now if they were one of the first.
Did you catch
think you probably bought it like 0.0001.
so Sachs was like, and at the beginning was like, don't F this up, guys. Like, just keep your mouth shut. Like, quit talking about it. But then later in the episode, which is where I took us to, he cleans it up and reveals that he's not only the name of his company is Craft Ventures. You can find all this on the interwebs. Craft Ventures invested in, as he discussed there, Multicoin Capital, which is a firm out of Austin, Texas. You may have heard of them. You familiar with, have you met Tushar? You've met a lot of people in the space.
I don't know off the top of my head. Probably, but
I was going to say probably.
Probably.
What I'm going to show you next is a screen from Multicoin Capital. In it, you will see their investments. In fact, here it is. Sorry, production value is always a valuable thing, except when you don't have it.
Yeah, I just love, I love that somebody who, I mean, think about it, he's been in this for 8 years now, right? At least. See, and if they were a venture firm, I'm sure they had to deal with all the regulations. I'm sure they had to research because of their companies. So I think he's coming with a lot of knowledge.
I'm going to argue the other point, and I should probably play it because he said it. Not that I disagree with you, because I think that was my reflex act. But what he said is he didn't have enough time to manage it, that he had to go down the rabbit hole each time and he would get sucked and pulled in all these different directions. So he went to Multicoin Capital and kind of outsourced the knowledge base to them. In other words, Craft Ventures took the money, said, these guys know what they're doing. Let them run the show. And so what I was looking for from Multicoin, because I just think with the executive orders, I'm sorry, I know we're going to try to do the best we can to create a level playing field, but in that level playing field, you would want to make sure the players on your team have a chance to compete. Most of what I've seen in business and athletics has kind of tended to go that way. And so I pulled up the list of coins that Multicoin Capital has listed in real time on their website that they are invested in. And I can't imagine that the executive order wouldn't lean this way. Now, one piece of the puzzle is that these would otherwise have to be, in my opinion, a made in the USA coin too. So as you see these, if they are not made in the USA, then there's a high likelihood that they would not qualify. Like, for example, are you familiar with Algorand?
I am, actually.
And I think they're out of Boston. Is that not right?
Yeah, it says it's an award-winning MIT professor.
Ooh, MIT professor. Oh, quick parenthetical aside. Here, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Have you heard what's happened with Gary Gensler is apparently going back to be professor at MIT?
No, seriously?
Yes. And so a couple of crypto companies, including the one led by the Winklevoss twins.
Winklevoss. Yeah, Gemini.
They said they are not hiring anyone, not even as an intern, that graduates from MIT if they allow Gary Gensler to come back and be an instructor there.
I'll tell you what, if the whole crypto community starts rallying around that, that's gonna really put some pressure on MIT to not allow that to happen.
I would hope they don't. He was horrible. You can't imagine anybody worse. But Algorand was created out of MIT, as you mentioned. Yep. I'm looking at Aptos. It's a layer 1 blockchain. I'm looking at, let's keep going. There's a lot. See, they're the knowledge base. There's just too many out there and in Sachs's opinion.
But, for those watching, maybe do your research. And if some of these are on here and it's like less than $1, less than $5, you know what I mean? Like if you're under $1, how difficult is it to throw $20 in? And listen, I'm saying that this is a time that I know that people are still really hurting out there, but if you could find a small coin and throw 10 or throw 5, again, do your research. This is not financial advice. If you were to, you could see the game. You can play this game too. That's what I love. Like, go look at this. You can play this game too.
Well, let's play the game. And that's what I'm doing right here as we take a look down. I like you, do not think Ethereum is a USA coin.
Yeah.
They have their stuff set up overseas. I do know that, let's go down here. We're going to see further down. Look at the FTX.
Oh, they had FTX. All right. Definitely do your research.
Yeah. You never like,
okay. Wait, I don't know. Maybe they didn't do their research.
No, I think part of the deal, and if you heard at the beginning of what these guys said, if you go back and listen to the beginning of the episode, They're basically saying they get gifted, they give money to the VCs because the VC pump gang is out there. And what we were saying was all of a sudden Solana was becoming this word. And that's when I invested, because I realized this is not just, this is orchestrated. This is coordinated. This is part of it. And he was quiet about it. The other guys were a little more giddy about it. And he was a little more reserved, but it still meant like that he was at 10X or 100X. And the rest of the guys are talking about, well, should we continue the investment or not? And so I look at this and I say, Ethereum doesn't qualify, but Near is identified as a protocol that you can invest in that is from USA. That's what my little list is over here. I've gone back and triangulated. Apt is another one that is made in the USA. Aptos, sorry.
Yep.
And then Helium. Are you familiar with Helium?
Mm-hmm. I am. Is up a little, is green. There you go.
It's HNT is also made in the USA. And so I'm looking at that going, there is almost no way that I can figure out that at least those 4 coins, Solana, Near, Aptos, and Helium, won't be part of some made in the USA advantage or some strategic reserve. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel like something happened with Helium at some point, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. But I agree. Again, it seems like this America first, viewpoint is going to elevate and give a lot of benefits to us supporting each other. So getting in there, researching it, what is the use case? What do they do? What are they solving for? Who made it? Who's backing it? All those are important things. And the more you can justify them, the more that will look like something that you should be participating in. So I think that I like America. I'm happy that America's coming first. And my company now we're back to maybe we do our token. Like we're not scared to do it anymore. And we work in AI and we work in gaming, and the type of ecosystem we could make with a token, like now you're going to be able to see this innovation and these revolutionary things coming because we can play, we can figure it out.
Indeed. And to kind of close this out, we've gone a little bit longer on this episode, not financial advice, but I just wanted to go through. There's Aptos, right, that we mentioned.
Yep.
These are the made in USA coins. There's a link, Made in America for Coin Market Cap, that you can check this out. If you go down, I'm trying to get to Near, right? There's the Near protocol. It's there. Yep. You look for, I already did, we're going to find Helium real quick just to show people. There's a lot of coins made in the USA. I think there'll be a lot more when the executive order comes through. And then I think Solana was in here, certainly.
Yeah, it was.
There you go.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that might be why the Fear and Greed Index, even though things are highly volatile right now, it seems to be sitting at a spot closer to the mid 50s.
Yeah.
Where usually at this time of the year or this much volatility, you'd see a higher fear index.
Can you go back and sort it by price real quick?
Of course I can.
I just want to show like how many coins are under $5.
Oh, yeah.
The Made in America ones. You know what I mean? Like it just, to me, that like the ones that you put little money into some of the bigger coins, it's really what you can afford. But if you can't afford, and you can break it down, but look, Pepe is 0.000001. Shiba had a good run at some point, but it's been, and you got the charts on the side. Obviously you want to get in like sooner than later, but there's opportunity in some of these to do well. And so, you can figure it out. There's lots of opportunity in this market.
Yeah. And you look, it's amazing how many coins there are and how much market cap exists. When you're looking at, and I'm just sorting inversely by market cap for the coins that are made in the USA, the top, let's make sure I'm in the right, that's Bitcoin. So that Bitcoin is not on the Made in USA list, which is probably another entire episode, which, you know what, we'll stop this one right here and say, thank you for joining us. There's so much intel out there. There's so much opportunity out there. Check out the EO, get ready. It's coming soon to a theater near you, just like our next episode.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my